The Carter family of southwestern Virginia was probably the most important group of the first decade or so of recorded country music. That was from the mid-1920s to the mid-1930s. Millions of fans around the world have enjoyed their original songs and their ingenious arrangements of the old songs, and also the unique character of their vocal and instrumental styles. Over the years, they've influenced performers as diverse as Woody Guthrie and Joan Baez and Johnny Cash. A.P. Carter led the group, and he collected or composed most of the songs. He is the one that sang what they called a high bass. His wife Sara sang the lead vocals and played accompaniment on autoharp or guitar. And Sara's cousin Maybelle sang harmony and played lead guitar. She was one of the most creative and influential guitarists in the history of country-style music. In this video, we'll help you learn the 4 styles of lead guitar that were played by Maybelle Carter, as well as the 2 accompaniment styles played by Sara and A.P. The enclosed booklet contains information on the Carter family and their recordings, as well as tablature versions of the pieces on this video. I suggest that you use the tabs only if you must, and rely mostly on listening to recordings of the Carter family with the help that we'll give you here. Absorb as much of that good old Carter family sound as possible, because you'll really benefit from it. Whether or not you want to learn each piece exactly, you'll always have your own sound. We're real fortunate to have A.P. and Sara's daughter, Janette, with us here today. Welcome, Janette.
I'm glad to be here.
I'm glad to have you here. Janette has played Carter-style music since, gosh, for a long time, I'll bet.
Well, I went with them when I was all of 6 years old. I went and used to go dance when I was a little girl. And I took up the autoharp when I was 13 years old.
Well, so you were involved with their radio programs, probably in your teens.
Yes.
And let's see, I guess you started your own performance plays too?
I started the Carter Fold in 1974, or the little store. Then it went to the big Carter Fold building, and then the store was turned into a museum, you know.
Well, you have programs there every
Saturday night. What I'm trying to do over to Carter Fold is preserve and keep alive the old time and the bluegrass music, and have a living memorial to my people there in the valley, and it would be a dishonor to have anything else but the type of music that they done. We don't want to let it die out. They are credited with more or less the roots of country music. Well, when you let a tree, the roots die, pretty soon the tree's gone.
I wonder if you could tell us a little bit about what it was like, the music that they played when you were just a very young child, maybe what the music was like before they went to that great recording session in 1927.
Well, my mother come from, well, I'd say a musical family. Maybelle did too. But Mother and Daddy, they sung together some before Maybelle married Uncle Esri. And they went one time to try out for a record contract. But they wanted my daddy to play a fiddle, which he could play a fiddle. And they wanted to call him Fiddlin' Doc. His nickname was Doc. His name was Alvin Pleasant Delaney Carter. And his mother did not want him to play the fiddle. Back when I was a child, the fiddle was considered a devil's instrument. A lot of people didn't believe in the spur dancing or the dancing in the home, and there was a lot of different feelings. Different people had different thoughts about all this. But they did go, and they never took that contract because his mother didn't want it. She wanted my daddy to sing hymns. They were deeply religious people, my grandpa and Grandma Carter. And they didn't believe in the dances in the homes. My daddy didn't believe in it, not against the music and that, but he just thought they might be get a little bit rough sometimes at them square dances.
Oh, yes.
And he just didn't go along with that drinking or stuff like that. He just wouldn't tolerate it.
Well, did he and your mother and Maybelle play around the home very much in those days?
Yeah, what they done, they would sometime in the evening sit down and play.
Mm-hmm.
And as I said, they usually we went to Maybelle's house. Well, she had a much larger house, and we just went there most of the time.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if you could tell me how you learned to play the guitar and the autoharp.
Well, we done a lot of watching and listening.
Did they encourage you?
No, they didn't. Well, I guess Daddy wanted me to buy an autoharp. Well, I wanted an autoharp. I guess I've told you about the time he took my money and bought chickens instead of an autoharp.
No, what was that? I don't remember that.
Well, me and Helen used to sing together, and when we'd go, he'd pay us $0.25 each, and we'd sing a song or two on their program, you know. And I saved up $13, and I decided I wanted to buy me an autoharp. That's what my first autoharp cost, was $13. And I saved it up, and I give it to Daddy, and I think he went to Sears Roebuck at Montgomery Ward. Sears, I think. And I told him to bring me back an autoharp. Well, he did, and he brought me back an old hen and a bunch of chickens. And I said, oh, I cried. It just broke my heart. I said, why did you do that? Well, we bought groceries with the chickens and eggs, and he thought we needed that worse than I needed an autoharp. So I had to save it up all over again. Mm-hmm. The next time, 13 makes 26, so that's what my autoharp cost. But I did get my autoharp.
Maybelle Carter usually played the guitar in the key of C and either tuned down or capoed up to get other keys. I'll be showing you Jimmy Brown and most of the other pieces here in the actual key of C. Don't be misled where my capo is. I keep my guitars tuned down, and the teaching of Maybelle's styles will always be in the key of C unless I tell you otherwise. Here's how I have the guitar tuned now. Maybelle Carter evolved her own style of playing the guitar back in the 1920s when she was in her teens. Consisted mostly of playing the melody in the bass strings and then kind of strumming in between with her first finger. Had a lot of the feeling of the 5-string banjo because she was a banjo player too. She played mostly in the key of C. But she tuned the guitar down, often 3 frets, and sometimes used the capo too, so that she could get the song pitched in the right key. This is one of the first songs that she learned to play on the guitar, and it's also one of the first that the Carter family recorded, I think in 1928 or 29. It's Jimmy Brown, the Newsboy.
Sell the morning paper, sir. My name is Jimmy Brown. Everybody knows I am the newsboy of the town. You hear me yelling Morning Star, walking around the street. Have no hat upon my head, no shoes upon my feet. Father was a drunkard, sir, I've heard my mother say. I am helping mother as I journey on my way. my name is Jimmy Brown. Everybody knows I am a newsboy all the town. I used to live in the country, now I live in town. Boarding at a big hotel, my name is Jimmy Brown.
Before we learn the melody playing on Jimmy Brown, I'd like to talk about hardware such as picks and guitars. And we also should learn some basics of accompaniment. Judging from early photographs, Maybelle used a couple of different small guitars until she bought her new 1928 Gibson L5, which she used almost exclusively from then on. This 1934 Gibson L10 has some similarities of tone to the much more expensive L5. Maybelle used a thumb pick and a metal finger pick like this. You have to wear the pick in such a way that it lets you strum both ways with it smoothly, like this. Both Maybelle and Sara played with their right hands pretty much in a position like this. So they picked approximately perpendicular to the strings, like this. Not like this, but like this. When Maybelle was playing melody or accompanying songs, she used a combination of several right-hand patterns. Next, we'll learn the basic ones. I'll describe them using a count of 4. The first is simply a thumb strike on the first count on one of the bass strings, the 4th, 5th, or 6th, and a finger stroke downward in the treble strings on the 3rd count, like this. With this next one, you play the first pattern and add a finger stroke upwards on the 4th count. It's kind of like it's a banjo rhythm, really. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And with this next one, you play the first pattern and add a finger stroke upwards on the second, like this. And finally, this one. You combine all 3 of the previous motions. You play a bass string on the first count, then stroke up, down, and up. The particular unsquare rhythmic quality of Maybelle's playing style comes from certain ways of slightly altering the rhythm of finger motions, accenting certain beats and combining different patterns. For instance, notice that the finger stroke is usually strong and on 2 or 3 strings. The upstrokes can be very subtle and just on 1 or 2 strings. The best way to learn these subtleties is by listening to recordings of the Carter family. The more you listen, the more you'll know, and your playing will benefit, definitely. Here's one combination of patterns that Maybelle used a lot. actually, there were two there, and there are others, but we'll learn them as we play melody. I suggest that you practice these patterns, possibly with this song, since it uses just the C and G7 chords. This will help you get these patterns good and solid. Practice them slowly, and practice them slowly enough to keep the rhythm going at an even pace. Now, Jimmy Brown is played in the style that Maybelle Carter was best known for. I call it her thumb lead style because she played the melody with her thumb, mostly on the 5th, 4th, and 3rd strings. In between melody notes, she used some of the rhythmic patterns we just learned, as well as some that we'll learn now. I was on a workshop with Maybelle Carter back in the 1960s where she showed us how she developed her melody picking style. She said that Jimmy Brown, the newsboy, was a piece that she used in that learning process. And here's something like the way she showed us. I think it'll be a useful way for you to learn too. On the workshop, Maybelle started with a simplified melody and a few downstrokes, like this. Then she fleshed out the melody a little bit. Then, as I recall, she added a few rhythmic finger upstrokes, something like this. Then she added occasional upstroke fills between melody notes, especially in the last phrase. Eventually, she added the G7th lick at the end of the first line. Now I'll play the whole melody twice, as close as I can to the way Maybelle played it, and I'll play a couple of variations that she made on the original recording. Wildwood Flower is probably the best known of the Carter family songs, and a lot of that is due to Sara Carter's plaintive singing of this unusual melody, and also Maybelle Carter's beautiful guitar playing. It was one of the few Carter family songs recorded with solo guitar. There's no autoharp or second guitar. Instead of the 19th century verses that the Carter version is based on, I'll use several that were made up by Buddy Starcher and recorded by him about 1950. I'll play the guitar part pretty close to the 1928 Carter family version. Waiting for me in a rose-covered bower. Her eyes are like violets after a shower. She is dreaming love dreams through the long summer hours. My sweetheart, my own, my fair wildwood flower. Creatures are under her spell. On her shoulder the dove her love's secrets will tell. The shy dapple fawn comes to lie at the feet of my dear wildwood flower, so gentle and so sweet. Together we'll stray. She will dance, she will sing, in my heart she will sway. Her laughter will echo like children at play, till my cares, like my heart, she is stolen away. No poet can write how she warms this old world like a sunbeam so bright. I will love and protect her and never will part from my pale wildwood flower that twines around my heart. Wildwood Flower is played in the same style as Jimmy Brown the Newsboy. Most every country guitar player will want to play it, but it's not an easy piece if you play it like Maybelle did in 1928. As you probably noticed, the part that goes up into F in the treble strings is tricky, and it doesn't sound like anybody who plays it now. In fact, Maybelle simplified it in the 1930s. I'll show you both ways, and you can take your pick of the two versions. We'll start with the 1928 version. Here's the first and second line. They're practically identical. For learning, you might want at first to simplify the melody or the finger strums, as we did in learning Jimmy Brown. Okay, here's the first line. Next, the high part. Note that where it goes to the F chord, I thumb the third, second, and the first strings in rapid succession. I'm pretty sure this is the way Maybelle did it. And finally, the last line. Well, maybe you'd like to see the whole piece once more, slowly and close up. Here it is. Maybelle probably used a small round hole guitar like this one on the first recording, but later she used her Gibson L5 model. So I'm going to change guitars. This L10 is similar to Maybelle's L5. Now I'll show you Maybelle's later version of Wildwood Flower. This version is smoother and easier to play. Let's take it a line at a time. Here's the first and second line. Again, they're practically alike. The third line is the part that's really much easier than the earlier version. Here it is. And then the fourth line. Now here it is all the way through. I'll take it slow. Sometimes Maybelle Carter would use the Hawaiian-style guitar in either their performances or early recordings. And I've often wondered, why do you suppose that Hawaiian music, why she wanted to play Hawaiian-style music on the guitar?
Well, it was probably a trend or something. Maybe someone else was playing Hawaiian music, and maybe it went across, and she'd try out different things, you know.
Mm-hmm. When Maybelle played the Hawaiian on the first recording, she used a D or E tuning. That's E, B, E, G sharp, B, E. She put a little riser under the end here to raise the strings up off the fingerboard so that when she'd press down with the bar, it wouldn't make it touch against the frets. This is a capo here. She never used one of those, as far as I know, at least. And then she'd use this bar to note the strings, you see. And she had her very own style. Janette's going to sing a song for you now. It's a Carter family classic that Woody Guthrie kind of took the tune to and made This Land Is Your Land out of it. And let's see, it's...
This song is Little Darling Pal of Mine. It's one of the favorites of mine, and I think everyone, because it sold an awful lot of records, and it's got a beautiful words and beautiful tune. Happy stars
When Maybelle played Hawaiian style, she used a regular wooden guitar, not a resonator guitar. I suggest that you tune your guitar to open D, like this one is now, rather than capoed to E, as Janette and I just did, as it'll be a little easier on the neck and the top of your guitar. And we'll not use the capo. We'll just use an extension nut, which raises the strings off of the fingerboard. You'll need a Hawaiian slide of some kind, any kind of smooth, round, heavy metal tube or bar, or even old bottleneck will do. Most music stores have several different varieties, and it's really a matter of personal preference. You'll also want to wear your picks the same way you do for the thumb lead or finger lead styles that Maybelle played, like this. The D tuning is D, A, D, F sharp, A, D, like this. The basic way you hold a bar is like this. You'll want the bar to have moderate pressure on the strings, and you should have a finger or two behind the string, behind the bar on the strings to deaden the overtones and keep the bar from buzzing on the strings as you move it onto or off the strings. You want to avoid this. And what you want is something more like this. I guess the best way I can describe that technique is that your finger should contact the string a millisecond before the bar contacts the string, and it needs to stay on the string a millisecond after the bar is released. It'll certainly take you a little while to learn how to use the bar and where to place it to get the right notes. You can find the melody and chord notes using the frets or markers as guides, but ultimately you have to use your ear. Now, when Maybelle used this style, she played melody both for the instrumental breaks and to accompany Sara and AP's vocals. I never saw her play Hawaiian, and so I base my playing of this style on a lot of listening to the old records and what I know firsthand of her other styles. It seems to me that this style had no repetitive pattern, but was based on playing of the melody and the novelty of the slide effects. So here's something like what I think she was doing. Here's the first line. And the second line. As you've noticed by now, I play the melody on the treble strings mostly with my first finger. I occasionally strum chords in the bass with my thumb. Well, now here's the third line. And the second line. fourth line. Here's the whole piece put together. I'll play it a couple of times. Maybelle's Hawaiian-style playing was very distinctive, and I've never heard anyone, myself included, who sounds quite like her. As far as I can tell, she relied on the autoharp for accompaniment. If you play by yourself, you might want to add a few more chords, strums, and bass notes. In any case, I hope what I've shown you here helps you understand her playing a little bit better. Leslie Riddle was a blues songster originally from the northwestern North Carolina mountains. The Cannonball is one of the songs Maybelle and A.P. learned from Riddle, and it was the first they recorded with the country blues style of guitar playing. Maybelle developed this style over the years and later used it with other Carter family songs. Janette, when we traveled with Maybelle back in the 60s, she mentioned that she learned this song, The Cannonball, from an African-American man named Leslie Riddle. I wonder if you could tell how A.P. met him, how he visited, whatever else you might remember about him.
Well, I heard him say he met him over at Kingsport, Tennessee. He was playing out on the street and playing the guitar, and people come along, drop money in his hat or bucket or whatever he had sitting there. That's where he met him, which I guess that's common, or used to be quite common. In some bigger cities, I guess it's still that much. Some people have been discovered on the streets. But he liked his music, hearing him play. He used to come over to the house and visit quite a bit. And yes, I did remember him playing the guitar. He was a wonderful guitar player. And he did show Maybelle some guitar runs on the Cannonball Blues and Lonesome.
My jumper and starch my overalls, catch the train they call the Cannonball from Buffalo to Washington. there comes a train coming down the track. It'll carry me away, but it ain't gonna carry me back, my honey babe, my blue-eyed babe. My baby's gone and left me, even took my shoes, enough to give me the doggone weary blues. She is gone, she's solid gone. Going up north this fall. If luck don't change, I won't be back at all, my honey babe, I'm leaving you. The basic concept with this style is that you play the melody in the treble strings with the first finger, while your thumb provides an alternating bass string accompaniment. Here's how the thumb lick goes. I suggest you practice that a while. On the first recording of the Cannonball, this style of playing was new to Maybelle, and she played the first string in a fairly straight, constant rhythm. On later performances, she played a more syncopated version. I played the earlier version on this performance, but I'm going to show you both versions. I suggest you listen to both, and you can play either version or mix them as you wish. Maybelle used the same picks as she did with her other finger-picking styles, by the way. Now, here's how I think she played on the first recording in 1930. We'll do it line by line. The second line. And here's the last line. Notice the pull-off on the first string. Now here's the other instrumental part, the one that follows each vocal. I'll do it line by line. And the second line. And here's how it sounds all together. The melody followed by the instrumental part. By 1936, Maybelle was playing this piece quite differently. I'll give you a sample of it as close as I can play it to the way she played it on a transcription she made for radio play in Texas. Now here it is line by line, real slow. On this first line, notice the tricky pull-off on the first string. It's optional. The second line. Well, the third line has slightly different syncopations than the earlier version, so watch out. And once more. On the second instrumental part, the timing between the first and second line is a little different from the earlier version. Here's the first line. dead second line. Once more, here's the 1936 style instrumental. I'll play it slowly this time. On a few songs, I think starting as early as about 1930, Maybelle sometimes played a few songs with a flat pick. And she told me once that she learned to play a lot of the flat pick style from her younger brother, Doc Addington, I believe. And so we'd like to do one of the songs that Sara and Maybelle put together in the late 1930s. You Are My Flower. It has some wonderful singing and also some little guitar riffs, which people have been emulating ever since.
Just as blue. The day is just as bright, the birds are singing too. You are my flower that's blooming in the mountain for me. You are my flower that's blooming there for me. When summertime is past and snow begins to fall, forget your tears and say to one and all, you're my flower that's blooming in the mountain for me. You're my flower that's blooming there for me. Oh, where a happy smiling life will be worthwhile. Forget your tears and say to one and all, my flower that's blooming in the mountain for me. You're my flower that's blooming there for me.
Maybelle Carter evolved her flat picking style in the 1930s and used it mostly in the late 1930s and early 1940s. In the accompanying notes, I've included a partial list of the pieces she flat picked so that you can learn to distinguish them from the others, and then you can get more of the characteristic flat pick feeling in your playing. Unlike Maybelle's thumb lead or first finger lead styles, this style usually needs guitar backup when playing lead. You'll notice that as I teach this piece. This is a pick Maybelle gave me in 1963. I like to hold it like this. And you can hold your pick just however you feel is good, but you want to be able to get some wrist motion in it. And as always, you should pick directly up and down on the strings like this. And sometimes I brace my hand, the heel of my hand on the bridge. Some say you're not supposed to do that, but I do it just the same. Maybelle's flat pick accompaniment is similar to her thumb lead style, but since you're using a single pick, the sound will be different. We'll go through the basic patterns briefly here using a count of 4. All the pick motions are downward on 1 and 3 counts and upwards on the 2 and 4 counts. First on the 1 and 3 counts. Next on the 1, 3, and 4 counts. It's kind of a banjo rhythm. And now on the 1, 2, and 3 counts. And then on all 4. Here's a typical combination now of all 4 patterns. Now let's learn the melody. I'll break it into 3 parts, and I'll play each 3 times. Here's the first melody line. And Maybelle's beautiful Mexican flavored run. That run starts out kind of like her break on Coal Miner's Blues. Now here's the second melody line with its closing run. And now the whole piece just a little faster, and I'll play it a couple of times. Sara Carter played a backup style on the guitar that perfectly complemented Maybelle's lead playing. In fact, it's pretty hard to tell which of them is doing what, the same as with Sara's autoharp accompaniment. Sara's guitar was especially helpful when Maybelle played with a flat pick. She was a one-person rhythm section that loped along like a combination string bass and tenor guitar. Janette, I was wondering if you could tell us how you learned to play the guitar.
Well, I learned from watching my mother and her and Maybelle when they were, of course, I can't play anything at all like Maybelle, but I naturally watched my mother more. I was with her more.
What keys did your mom play
My
in?
mother played an awful lot. Maybelle would be in a C and Mommy would be in a G. But like I said, if they had to capo it down or whatever they had to do to get it the right pitch. Now, they never done too many hoedown tunes or instrumentals, but they did do some. And you could always, in them tunes, they used the two guitars. And as I said, they were easier to tune and than try to tune order harps, keep tuning them.
Janette, I wonder if you could show us the guitar style that you learned from your mother. Of course, it'll be your way of doing it.
So maybe if I just play and you can watch, maybe you can tell. This is an old hoedown tune that I don't know where I learned. Probably from some old-time musician that done hoedown tunes. I've heard Ralph Stanley do this a lot. And as I said, I don't usually do these kind of songs, but I always like Pretty Polly. Oh, Polly, go along with me. Polly, go along with me. We will be married and pleasure we'll see. He led her over mountains, valleys so deep. Led her over mountains, valleys so deep. Polly mistrusted and she fell asleep. Oh Willie, I'm afraid of your ways. Willie, I'm afraid of your ways. I love a poor boy, I'll not be your slave. Oh Polly, your guess is about right. Polly, oh Polly, your guess is about right. Dug on your grave the biggest part of last night. Oh Polly, come go along with me. Polly, go along with me. We will be married and pleasure we'll see. Oh Willie, afraid of your ways. Willie, Willie, I'm afraid of your ways. Murdered pretty Polly and she's gone away.
Sara's finger motion was similar to Maybelle's thumb lead style, which I showed you on Jimmy Brown the Newsboy. However, Sara didn't use picks, and she played a small-bodied guitar like this 1920-018 Martin. Janette remembered that she played a lot in the key of G, often capoed up or possibly tuned down to get other keys. Her finger motion looked a lot like Janette's, and like Janette, she kind of choked the bass string with the heel of her hand, kind of like this. I'm exaggerating it there, but it sounds like this. Sometimes she would almost snap the bass string like this. Almost snap the bass string. Here's a kind of basic pattern. Notice that in the left hand, I release my finger off the bass string, which adds to the damping effect. Sara seemed to vary her playing technique from time to time. On one videotape, it looks like she was strumming the strings with 2 or 3 fingers like this. It gives a stronger upbeat. Well, it's real simple, but it's great how it lends support and gives character to the Carter family's singing and Maybelle's guitar playing. When the Carter family recorded their transcriptions for border radio stations down in Texas, their programs were more informal than their other recordings. They played instrumentals and included performances by several of their children. Also, AP sang several solos with his guitar. He's one of my favorite soulful old-time singers. If you want to hear these recordings, see the list of the available ones in the notes booklet. I never actually saw AP play the guitar. His son Joe showed me a couple of ways that he played. This is one of them, a thumb and 2-finger style. When I listen to AP's solo recordings, to me his playing sounds similar to the basic style used by many turn-of-the-century parlor guitar players all over the country, including my father. Here's how this style goes. You thumb the bass string and then pick up on the 3 treble strings with your first 3 fingers, 1 finger on each string. In 2/4 or 4/4 time, the pattern would sound like this. On the solo recordings that AP made, he played in waltz or 3/4 time. He usually played in G, sometimes tuned down or capoed up, and it sounded something like this. Here's part of one of the Carter family songs, I Never Will Marry, as AP might have played it. As far as I know, he never recorded this as a solo. One morning as I rambled down by the seashore, the wind it did whistle and the waters did roar. I heard a fair damsel make a pitiful sound. It sounded so lonesome in the waters around. I never will marry, I'll be no man's wife. I expect to live single all the days of my life. The shells in the ocean shall be my deathbed. The fish in deep water swim over my head. It's been a pleasure working on this program with Janette Carter, and we hope that it's helped you appreciate the music of the Carter family and will also encourage you to play and enjoy it yourself.